Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you so much, and please consider subscribing to my channel. I upload new videos every 2 weeks, and also hit the notification bell so every single time I upload a video you will be notified. Today's video is totally different from what I have uploaded before. This past weekend, I attended the Macuda 13th annual convention in Dallas, Texas, which was amazing. Macuda stands for Mancun Cultural and Development Association. So the Mancun people in the United States have come together and decided to have a convention once a year. And at this convention, they pretty much promote the Mancun culture and also brainstorm on some ideas on how to help develop Mancun. One of our biggest goals is to help teach our kids the Mancun culture, which is what I experienced in Dallas this past weekend. One of our own sons that has been attending the convention from childhood was one of our keynote speakers, and his speech was very touching that I decided to share that with you guys. He pretty much talked about unity, that we all should unite and work together. So in this video, I'm going to share that part of the convention, and also since I upload videos every 2 weeks, I will be uploading every week for a few weeks so that I can be able to share with you guys some of the Mancun traditional dances that we had. Please welcome our keynote speaker, Anye Angwafo.
Macuda oye!
Oye!
Macuda oye!
Oye!
There we go, that's what I like to hear. Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank you all for letting me come here and present to you today. I'd like to thank the Dallas Fort Worth chapter for doing such a wonderful job hosting this convention. I wanted to come and speak to you about Macuda America through the eyes of someone who has grown up as a part of this organization from childhood and wants to see it reach its full potential. But before I get into that, I want to give you a brief history on who we are and what it means to be a Mancunian. The Mancun Fondom is noted to be one of the oldest kingdoms in the Northwest Province and acts as the hub of culture and tradition. Mancun Town itself is one of the most sought after pieces of land in the Northwest and the envy of its neighbors, those within and without of the province. These are all points of which we should be proud of. As many know, during the late 1800s, when Cameroon was under the threat of colonization by the Germans, it was the Mancunians who banded together to fight against the threat. Despite facing seemingly insurmountable odds from the German forces, we were able to defeat their troops in 2 consecutive and decisive battles before finally being defeated during a 3rd conflict. This just goes to show the power of a Mancunian. Despite being outnumbered by the Germans, who at the time had allied themselves with the Bali people to fight against us, despite the fact that we're fighting with spears and shields against an enemy equipped with guns and cannons, we prevailed. Not once, but twice. This is our legacy. The blood of those who stood against the German forces and won is the same blood that runs through our veins today. Those ancestors passed the torch down to their successors, who passed it on to their own offspring. And as of now, the torch rightfully belongs to you, the current elders of this generation of Mancunians. A point we must not forget is that you, the current generation, are icons in your own right. Through your hard work, toil, and determination, You all came to this country seeking education and opportunity. The fruits of your labor are now forever on display. Among us, we find doctors, attorneys, pharmacists, nurses, engineers, educators, entrepreneurs, students, etc. From humble beginnings, here you all stand. I am sure that you all have your own personal anecdotes detailing the trials and tribulations you all endured coming to the US. The daily grind of trying to build a foundation for a better life while struggling to assimilate and immerse yourselves into a new and daunting culture. It is immeasurable. To celebrate your unwavering courage and zeal, I believe that you all deserve a stirring round of applause. Yes. I want to let you know that your sacrifices were not in vain. Now that our feet are firmly planted into the American soil, the roots of the future have begun to expand. You, the fearless leaders, icons, and elders, have given birth to us, the first generation of not just Cameroonian Americans, but Mancunian Americans. When Macuda held its inaugural convention in 2006, it had three distinct goals in mind: to create an organization that binds together Mancan people in America, to create a social, academic, and cultural forum which fosters all the ideals and virtues which we acquire and share by virtue of our common ancestry, and to influence and contribute to the socio-economic and cultural development of Mancan. But to speak in layman's terms, the Macuda Convention can be perfectly summarized as a family reunion. It is a chance for us to reconvene and socialize with family and loved ones that we haven't seen all year. We all live busy lives in this tough and individualistic society. And Macuda gives us a chance to put on the brakes and decompress. While the goal of Macuda has never faltered, we can attest to the fact that we as an organization have not been operating on our highest level. I want to stress one simple fact: united we stand, divided we fall. The survival of Macuda America does not depend on the power of one chapter alone. It depends on all of us. In a group such as this, we do not speak in terms of I, but us. It's no secret that there has been quite a bit of division occurring within Macuda, from conflicts between branches, whether it be DC or Minnesota or Chicago or Ohio or whoever, or even personal conflicts between individuals, persons, that ultimately ends up spilling into the national conversation, stifling the progress and advancement of the organization. We, the next generation, are quite aware of the infighting. I'm sorry to say, but whatever attempts you, the elders, have made to try to hide it from us are rather futile. It makes no sense that younger and newer Cameroonian cultural organizations that were established years after Macuda are surpassing us in terms of what they have accomplished, both in their national groups and in their respective villages back home. I come not to chastise you, but to give you an insight, on Macuda through my eyes, through the perspective of someone who has grown up as a part of this organization since childhood. I can tell you firsthand that for the majority of young Macuda members, such as myself, if you were to ask any one of us which of the 12 previous conventions was the most successful, many would say Ohio 2012.
Yes.
As I'm sure many of you can remember, the Ohio Convention of 2012 was widely panned due to lack of fundraising and other managerial issues.
Yep.
But for us kids, it was the complete opposite. I recall that year being heavily attended, with nearly all branches in attendance. Us younger ones reconnected with cousins that we had not seen in years. While most of you spend your time in meetings, we lounged by the pool, taking walks through each other's hotel rooms, ordering pizzas and causing our own commotion. My greatest memory occurred after the Friday culture night, as the adults retreated for the night in order to get some rest for the meeting the next morning. We had our own after party to continue the adrenaline-filled mischief. Ultimately, after about an hour of loud music and dancing in the hotel room, the hotel security had to be called. The minute the police showed up, it was game over. See you tomorrow. Even the farewell barbecue, which was packed to the brim with people, was an amazing moment, filled with food, dancing, and bittersweet goodbyes. Since then, most of those who I partied, ate, danced, and got cited by the police with, I haven't seen. For us younger ones, Macuda is the only viable connection we have to our culture. It is the one strand that we have that connects us not only to our lineage, but to each other. When people come to Macuda with the intention of causing chaos and disruption, the lifespan of the organization dwindles. If this continues, Macuda will surely cease to exist sooner rather than later. And if that happens, what will become of us? If Macuda dissolves, how will we protect and conserve our culture? Will there even be a culture to protect? Soon enough, this next generation of Mancunian Americans will be lost, left to wander in this country with no common cultural thread to unite us to our heritage. And so shall the trend continue with us giving birth to our own children, a generation who will never even know what Mancun is. Just as it was our ancestors' duty to forge a formidable path in order to pass the torch onto you, it is now your duty to do the same for us. If Macuda fails, there will be no passing of the torch to us, but in fact, the eternal flame will burn out. When Macuda started in 2006, I can only imagine the excitement and desire that you all had. But now, I can see it has drastically dwindled as the years have passed. One is left to wonder if this lack of motivation is due to the egos and negative attitudes of others. When issues come up during the year, instead of strategizing over how they'll be resolved at the convention, some persons are more inclined to say, if they don't answer these questions, the upcoming convention will either make or destroy. I ask those of you who look at the glass as half empty instead of half full, are you willing to let Macuda turn to ashes and blow away in the wind? Are you willing to let Macuda fall into the hands of those who wish only to destroy and not build? Are you willing to deprive and strip your future progeny of the culture that they rightfully deserve? If we don't take the initiative to change the trajectory of Macuda now, in this very moment, then we have all willingly signed the death warrant of this organization. I, for one, am not willing to sit and watch Macuda disband and become a fleeting memory in the minds of those who are lucky enough to experience it. The fate of Macuda is the fate of our children. The need for us to unite has never been direr. Let's reignite the fire to preserve a culture that transcends generations. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so for upcoming videos. I look forward to sharing with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a good day. Bye-bye.